Let's get nuts.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Scrolly TV. I know it's been a while since I've done a movie review. I think the last one was Black Panther, and there's been movies that have come out since then. But this isn't a movie review channel. I just like talking about movies and things, every aspect of movies. I just love movies. I don't have time to sit down and review every single one that comes out. There's so many movies nowadays, so I gotta wait for the right one. And boy, was this the right one. Avatar 2, The Way of Water, directed by James Cameron, starring Zoe Saldana and Sam Worthington. Sam Worthington, wow, I haven't seen him in a minute. This movie, see now, this is where it gets tricky. From the trailers, they don't really give you a lot to go on off of plot-wise. I want to be careful, but how should I put this? You know what? Jake Sully and Natiri have formed a family and are doing everything they can to stay together. However, they must leave their home and explore the regions of Pandora when an ancient threat resurfaces. Jake must fight a difficult war against the humans. This is the plot summary that the producers want to tell people. I'm literally right off Google. So yeah, that's the basic plot of the movie. The hype for this movie cannot be matched by. I think the last time I was this hype for a movie was probably Endgame. In my professional opinion, James Cameron is the king of sequels. He has two of the most successful movie sequels in two different franchises. Aliens, which is the sequel to Alien, and he has the Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which is the sequel to Terminator 2, or Terminator 1. Well, yeah, Terminator 2 is the sequel to Terminator 2. Both Aliens and Terminator 2 are probably the peak of each of those franchises. They both kind of go downhill after James Cameron gets behind the camera. In both of those movies that I just stated, he kind of elevates the franchise to a new level. With Aliens, he added that action adventure element to it, and with Terminator 2, the story just unfolded way better, and the continuation of the Sarah Connor and all that stuff, and the action sequences were bonkers. The action sequence and the technology. I think the T8 T1000, the technology for the time was crazy. And that's what you did with Avatar. The first Avatar came out, you never see anything like that, and it was totally crazy. Let's just get into what I like about this film. I like the visuals. So the movie premiered on December 6th to early screenings for critics and whatnot. And all the critics were saying the same thing. Oh my God, the visuals. Oh my God, never seen anything like it. Visuals. I knew I was gonna review this movie, and I didn't want to harper on. I didn't want to, just talk about the visuals. There had to be more to talk about. The visuals were insane. The visuals were freaking insane. I remember when Aquaman came out, and James Cameron was kind of like just all over the visual effects of Aquaman. They're like, oh, this isn't how the water would do in this situation, or that doesn't look real. That's not how you swim underneath water. And I was just thinking, just chill out. What? Come on. I know you do the underwater stuff, but calm down. Now I have a different story. James Cameron talked that because his underwater scenes, my God, were immaculate. And the water, the way the water just moved, and the sound mixing of the water, it made you feel like you were on a beach in Cabo somewhere in Mexico, just chilling with these people. That's what I got. I saw it in IMAX 3D, which is I think the only way you should see this movie is at IMAX 3D. It just looked unreal. At one point, they had this close up with them in the rain, and the rain dripping down their skin, and it just looked so good. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. I also like the family aspect. Natari and Jake have a family, have a whole litter of kids, and I like their stories. I thought it was interesting. They're separate, kind of how they're all going through their separate individual things throughout the movie, and it kind of comes together at the end. Move over to Dominic Toretto. Jake Sully is now the new king of the families.
But what's real is family.
Family is a very prominent theme in this movie. With the overall story, I know a lot of critiques of the first one was bug. The story was unoriginal. It's the whole, I believe they call it like the going native. We've seen it in Dances as Wolves with Kevin Costner. This is my second movie review, my second time mentioning a Kevin Costner movie. If you haven't seen Draft Day starring Kevin Costner, go see it. It's a pretty good movie. I wonder if I can sneak in a Kevin Costner reference in all my movie reviews. That's my new goal. But Dancing with Wolves. Another big one that my family always compares it to is the movie Ferngully. My sister refuses to watch Avatar 1 because from everything she said this just sounds like Ferngully, and that's a childhood classic. And Ferngully doesn't look like Avatar, but she's not wrong. The story is very similar. This one, I believe, it's a little bit more intricate. There's more characters to focus on it that are involved in the storyline. The overall, story is still kind of mid. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is still in the likes. I like the storyline. Nothing's gonna bend your mind, and there's no twist. It's still that going native without kind of spoiling anything. They have to learn the way of water. I don't think you're going to see Avatar for the story. You're going to Avatar to see the avatars. Let's get into my dislikes. My dislikes. Now, I just said I like the story. It's kind of mid. But there's one thing I didn't like about the story was how they handled the villain. The villain of this movie was very basic as sequel villain storyline. I don't want to give away anything because, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. I understand where the villain was coming from. It's just, that's not the way I thought they were going to go with the storyline. And I know what James Cameron can do with villains. Like we said with the there's the Terminator in the first one, then there's the T-1000 in the second one. Villain's just basic. I don't know what else to say. The villain is just a basic ass villain. Another dislike that I have in this this is probably more of a personal thing than an overall critique of the movie. There's one scene in particular that's kind of left field from the rest of the movie. You have a lot of questions after this one scene, and the movie doesn't really address them, and for the rest of the movie, you don't really get any answers or clear answers. I can compare it to the Rey's vision in The Force Awakens. How all this stuff was kind of dropped hints for you for later, and even later down in the franchise, that payoff was kind of just it's a horrible payoff. It's just setting up for a clear third movie, which I know they're doing. It's fine, but I just explain that scene within the movie. Just a little critique from me. If I had to give this movie an overall, rating, movies are art, and art's, very, 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 oh my God, what's the word? What's not personal? What's the word? Oh my God, I look like an idiot on camera. What word am I looking for? Art is very... I can't think of the word. But art is very dependent on the person and taking the certain art. It depends on the person. It varies from person to person. And so that's why I always feel like ratings are, they're a little skewed. But for my rating, I think I would lean this Avatar 2, The Way of Water, I would give it a solid 4.4 out of 5. It's a very, very good movie. I would say that Avatar and Avatar 2 are very similar in fun, good time, good action, good visuals. Both storylines are very, very just, basic blockbuster movie. And there's nothing wrong with that. Personally, I love a good-ass basic blockbuster movie. If you're gonna have a lacking storyline, you better make up for it in the visuals, and this movie definitely does that. Comment down low and tell me what your rating was for this movie. Tell me why you liked it. If you didn't like this movie, still comment. Tell me why my opinions are dumb. I want to hear back from you guys. I just always, like I say, I love talking about movies, and movies are something that I just love. So comment down below, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more movie reviews and other things. I have vlogs, I have podcasts, so it's a great time on this channel. You're missing out if you don't subscribe, so subscribe right now. That has been my review of Avatar: The Way of Water. Good 4.4 out of 5. Please be good, do good. I'm out.